Welcome, fellow movie fans, to the latest episode of the Summer Movie Draft. We are dealing with the week 9 of our game, and that is dealing with the box office of the opening weekend of July 17th to the 19th. I'm your host, Troy, and joining me for this particular week is my current co-host of Daniel.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Dan has one of the movies that opened up this week. Hence the reason why he's joining me this
Yeah,
particular weekend
and
for
it, and
this
it did
particular
okay,
episode.
I hear.
Yeah, it did quite all right, but we'll get into that details in a little
Yep.
later on.
No, I was just going by the river. It did okay.
Yep, exactly. It did okay. It did okay. Yeah. So what we usually do is we usually chat at the beginning about any new movies that we've seen since either the previous week or the last time anyone was on. And so what have you recently been? What have you recently watched there, Dan?
Well, Troy didn't invite me to go out with him this last viewing, so I didn't see any new movies. But I did watch one of the newer movies from January, and it's called World Breaker, and it was in the theaters for an eye blink. It was it didn't do so great, but as far as bad movies go, it's your standard Mila Jokovic movie. She's in a lot of these future post-apocalyptics. In this one, the Earth, because of how we're treating it so poorly, cracks appear to another dimension, and it turns the Earth into a nightmare where everybody's being slaughtered, but especially the men, because the creatures because men have more static minds than women. We can be
Okay.
converted into the creatures quickly and fast, whereas a woman is
I
more
see.
resistant to it because their
Okay.
minds are more scattered. And we
Mm-hmm.
become seekers that can contact, like we're half breeds that contact the true breeds that came through the crack. And the basic premise is the women are fighting the battle the men started but didn't win because they're more susceptible. And so all that's mostly left are women, and they're protecting the men now.
Okay.
And so as this breaks down, they get in another insurgence through a new break appears. Mila Jokovic is the leader, and she has a husband and daughter. He is a storyteller for them, and he's telling his daughter stories all the time. And their goal was to escape with everybody else, but the dad had, and the mom apparently had other plans for her
Gotcha.
and for the daughter, and took her somewhere to a private island only they knew about to train. And the creatures wouldn't be there because there's no people.
Oh, I see. Okay. Interesting.
So she goes through 5 years of training with her dad before things change. And I'll leave it at that.
Gotcha. All right.
It has a surprise ending.
Okay. Well, there
In
you
my
go.
opinion, it's quite the surprise ending. It wasn't what I
Mm-hmm.
expected from a traditional movie that like this.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting sounding movie. That is. It's kind of weird that she starred in that type of movie that's not directed by her husband Paul Anderson and all that sort of thing.
Yes,
The movie itself is directed by a Brad
Brad.
Anderson.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
it's a she's supporting the smaller directors a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He does it a lot. So
Oh, I just looked up why the name sounded familiar for Brad for Brad Anderson, and I've seen a couple of the movies that are on his list. They are definitely he's worked on the Titans TV series,
yeah,
and Sinners TV series, a couple of other movies. Oh, he even did an episode of Peacemaker too. So yeah, all right. All right. Oh, and he did the okay. So he's got a lot of horror under his belt as well as I'm flipping through his page. All right,
yeah,
cool.
he's a fun guy. This movie
Yeah.
was definitely up his alley, I'll say. Yeah.
Okay. And as Dan had earlier mentioned that I neglected to bring him along on my tour de force of movie watching on this past Saturday. I went to see a double bill of the Moana Odyssey. And without going into too much detail, because you could go into a whole lot of detail for both these movies and just make a whole entire podcast about that. But I did, if you want to check the YouTube channel, I did an in-car review covering both of those movies for the day. But I will say, while I didn't think they needed to redo Moana so soon, it was probably one of the better like animation into live actions. That being said, it still didn't need to be done. It's very, very extremely similar to the original. There are a couple of lines that they change and all that sort of thing. They fill the story before Moana actually sets off on her voyage a little more to flesh out the actual island itself. So you actually have a more connection to her parents and whatnot, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it's pretty much shot, like not shot for shot, but like motion for motion from the live action, from the animation to the live action. So it's again, didn't need to be done. It was good that it was well done. So there you go. And then the other movie obviously was the Odyssey. Now I wasn't able to see the IMAX 70 millimeter version like it should be watched. But
I learned a lot about that because of this movie. Actually,
yeah, exactly.
41 screens in the world that could show it properly.
Yep, and 3 of them are in the GTA. So
it was invented here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the actual headquarters. So technically, there is 4 IMAX screens in the GTA, but the 4th screen is at the actual IMAX center that are only used by the personnel at IMAX itself. It's not open to the public.
I have a friend, Denis, who helped develop it, so I'm very familiar.
Sweet. And unfortunately, the first IMAX screen in Toronto, which was the Cinesphere, is no longer working because, sadly enough, the machine went into disrepair to a point where it's going to cost way too much to repair the actual film projector itself. So, sadly, that is no longer a screen. That's not really what I'm talking about. We're talking about the Odyssey. Yes. So I went to see the next best thing. I went to see the large screen AVX digital projector version of the movie. Sound is fantastic. Visuals are amazing. Fantastic cast. A great story. And it's Christopher Nolan telling a disjointed story that he really is so wonderful at doing. He can give you a narrative that jumps all over the timeline, and still by the end you're all like, yeah, that was a full movie. I did realize like about halfway through the movie that pretty much every second actor that comes up on the screen has been an actor in a comic book movie of some sort. So it's kind of neat that like a good portion of the main cast are actually either have worked in the MCU or in the DC movie universe as well, which is kind of nice too.
Putting this in the same universe as.
Yes, exactly. Yep. But again, it did not seem like an almost 3-hour movie, which is fantastic because that's just the way Christopher Nolan does it. It's a fascinating movie to watch, and I'm glad I got to see it now. It's probably, if I can get to sometime in, when the theaters open up in like September, October, when there's going to be seats available to see this movie in IMAX, I might want to revisit this in IMAX, but definitely an entertaining movie. So there you go. All right. So speaking of movies that open this weekend, we're just going to go through the domestic numbers of the box office opening, which are the money that was made in North America, both Canada and the US. And so we're just going to start off with the top 10 in reverse order, just to make it a little more interesting. So and again, we're just dealing with the weekend box office, which is basically the 17th to the 19th. All right, so in number 10, we had Disclosure Day, which came in with $1.4 million. Ninth place was Supergirl with $1.5 million. 8th place, that fantastically still in their movie, is Obsession, which pulled in another $2.5 million. Seventh place was Young Frankenstein. Wow, that was a bit of a slip. That would be Young Washington with $3.6 million. In sixth place was The Invite with $3.9 million. Fifth place is Evil Dead Burns with $5 million. In fourth place is Toy Story 5, pulling in $14.8 million. Third place is Minions and Monsters with $14.8 million as well. In second place, last week's number one of Moana pulled in another $19 million. And the number one movie opening this weekend is The Odyssey, which domestically brought in $124.5 million. All right. So not quite as big as the opening weekend of Toy Story 5, but it is definitely up there in the ranks. I think it's either second or third of the movies that opened for that are involved with our game and all that sort of thing. So congratulations there, Dan, as Dan is the proud owner of the Odyssey.
My points are finally going up.
Exactly. So yeah, so the big cause of this game is to basically see which movie brings in the most worldwide box office. At the beginning of the game, we deal with the movies that release from the middle of May till the end of September. And then between the players, we basically bid on collecting the different movies to get into our rosters. And that's how we end up winning the game, whoever has the most total box office at the end of the season. We are using the reference of the top 200 list from the Mojo Box Office Mojo listings, where they have every single movie that has been released in 2026 since the beginning, and how much money they've made so far in the worldwide box office. So I'm just going to list off the movies that are part of our game, and we might as well just go in order because going in reverse sounds a little less entertaining. So, all right. So out of the top 200. Number 3 is Toy Story 5, which at this point has a running total of $958.4 million.
Coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. In 8th place is Backrooms, which has a running total of $384.3 million. 10th place is Minions and Monsters with $357.8 million. In 11th place is Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu with $340.6 million. Entering the top 200 at 13th place is The Odyssey with a worldwide box office opening of $264 million. So that's pretty good to start off that high on the list there, Dan.
And hopefully the word of mouth makes it sound even better.
Yeah.
And see, they can watch it together with that other movie and that you put in there. The oh my god, the one you watched is with it.
Moana.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Odyssey.
The Odyssey. Oh, I like the Odyssey. That's good, actually. That's good. All right. So in 15th place is Disclosure Day, with has pulled in a running total of $234.7 million. 16th place is Scary Movie with $230 million. 21st place is Moana with $178.4 million. 27th place is Supergirl with $120.8 million. 28th place, Masters of the Universe with $113.3 million. 42nd place is Evil Dead Burn with $51.3 million. 48th place is Young Washington with $41 million. 56th place is Passenger with $31.6 million. 63rd place is Jackass, Best and Last, with $26.6 million. Coming in at number 76, The Breadwinner with $20.2 million. I'm not going to do a Casey Kasem anymore. That sucked big time.
I thought you were doing movie phone.
Yeah, exactly. I was starting to figure out, what voice am I actually doing? In 78th place is Pressure with $19 million. At 112th place is I Love Boosters with 9.7. 121st place is Leviticus with $8.3 million. 136th place is The Death of Robin Hood with $6.8 million. At 189th is Stop That Train with $4 million. Now, the last four movies that are on our list that are chosen by other players fall beyond the listings of the 200 mark, so we're just going to list them in numeric order. We have Power Ballad with $3.3 million, Girls Like Girls with $2.7 million, Carolina Carolyn with $382,000, and Corporate with Retreat with $381,000. All right, so when we take all those numbers into effect and crunch them down into one big whole entire thing, the actual movies that are in our game currently are running at a running total of $3,230,301,196. And of course, that number gets split between the four players in the game and all that sort of thing. And giving them the rankings, we have as the running totals. Fourth place is myself, Troy, with a running total of $380.4 million. Third place is Dan with $771.9 million. A nice big jump up from last week's totals.
Nice jump.
Yep. Second place is Candace with $990.5 million. Leaving first place with Mitch at $1,087.3 million. All right. So one thing I want to add to that list, because the very first movie in our list is number 3, which is Toy Story 5. I just want to point out that the number 1 movie so far since the beginning of the year is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which at this particular moment has pulled in $1,010 million, followed quite closely by the biopic in number 2, Michael, which actually just this weekend passed the billion point with $1,002 million. So there's a good chance that Michael, because as far as I know, I don't believe Super Mario Galaxy is in the theaters anymore, but Michael is actually still showing on screen. So there is a good chance that now, whether or not it's going to make another $8 million to surpass Super
close,
Mario
though,
movie,
yeah.
but yeah, it is really close. There's a good chance. As of last week or the week prior, Michael had succeeded in being the most profitable biopic of all time, which is kind of neat, which is kind of a cool thing to see. All right, so great showing for the Odyssey for you, Dan.
Yeah, it was.
We have probably another good full, because now we're going to get a full week of showings, because you're in the summer. People are going to be seen a couple times a day. The movie does have the problem where you can't schedule too many showings because of a 3-hour window. You still have to have that break in it. So you have usually one less showing, but some multi-theaters are doing that, overlapping. Hey, it starts here.
And
then
I know they're getting priority IMAX.
Exactly. Yes. Well, that's the other thing too, because tickets for this movie for IMAX theaters, because it was going to be an IMAX showing, those tickets were like being sold a year ago, which was a wonderful ploy. So that's why when you go to buy your IMAX tickets, you're finding very scant seats in the very undesirable front row or off to the side sort of thing. And yeah, they don't open up until about middle of August, apparently, is what it is. So congratulations to Christopher Nolan for doing that little thing. But yeah. So that is probably going to wrap things up for us for this particular episode. A nice quick in and out sort of one. Even though, if you notice, hey, this is being released late in the week. It's just the finger is being pointed at me. I am the problem for having pushed it off too late and all that sort of thing. I wasn't assertive enough in my need to record this particular project. So we do have one movie coming out for next week. That's part of our game. There are a couple other movies coming out, but they were announced either past the time we had locked off our titles, or they had been moved around schedules from other places and all that sort of thing. Yeah. So opening this upcoming weekend, which will be the 24th, 26th, is the musical Hades Town, which again is Daniel's movie as well. So there you go.
Going. It looks amazing, actually.
Again, for something that I didn't know was, because I know about the actual stage play, which is
it is the stage play.
It is the stage play. Yes,
it's viewing.
Yeah.
So it's not going to make any big bucks, but it's going to be. It actually, I would recommend watching the trailer. It's better than you imagine, because it really is the story of him going into Hades to try and get his girl, and it's just great. Yeah. Greek mythology at its finest.
Exactly.
So if you're going to see the Odyssey, you ought to see Hades Town.
Yeah, exactly. There's your double bill. There's your double bill. All right. So hopefully next week we'll get Dan to return back for his opening weekend of Hades Town, and see how much more money the Odyssey is going to be.
And this time I will have seen it.
There you go. That's always a good thing. Yeah. All right. So on that note, thank you, Daniel, for joining us. Thank you, audience, for joining us. And until next time, we'll see you at the box office. This has been the Summer Movie Draft, a Planet Geek production. Please be sure to subscribe, download, comment, share, rate, and review. You can follow Planet Geek Productions on all of our social medias. Through Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, and Letterboxd, search for Planet Geek Productions. On X, former Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, search for Planet Geek Pod. Or you can send us an email at planetgeekpod@gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute to our GoFundMe, or just buy us a coffee, check out our GoFundMe and Ko-Fi links in the description. Thanks for tuning in.